Welcome back, everyone, to some professional Starcraft from WCS Spring 2019. These are the semi-finals between the two top North American players. Let me introduce you from Mexico in the top left, getting through GSL. And also now for the semi-finals to face Cyril. It is Juanito Special, the best Terran outside of Korea, or maybe soon in it. And in the bottom right, the three-time WCS champion. Since Cyril took the throne, he has yet to be back, looking for another opportunity. Sponsored by Ting from the great state of New York. It is Neeb. A shield Protoss. Now, Neeb and Special have played before. Neeb historically has I would say his worst matchup is PvT. Historically, overall. I don't know how he feels about it right now, but a thorn in his side throughout much of 2018 was the proxy meta. There were players who, overall, I would definitely say are not on Neeb's level, who were beating him with these random barracks and factories and all of that. This is a best of 5, by the way, so there's a lot of opportunities to get a feel for what the other player wants to do. And also, I might mention, Special recently played in GSL. He played against SOS twice, and he beat him 2-0 each time. TVP. So obviously he's been practicing that matchup, but that gives Neeb more... I'm sure Neeb watched. Okay. It gives him more opportunity to potentially counter. Now, with that said, Special has been looking very scary in TVP. He has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, but also he can play a straight-up game. Mech is an option. That Reaper jump was hilarious. Oh, the block! Wait! Oh my god, every time. No warp gate started yet. I don't know if Special quite noticed that, because he wanted the Stargate as quick as possible, really rushing out that tech, slightly delaying warp gate. Yes. 50 gas is that much of a deal. The Adept's coming in. He only built 2 Marines. He's now getting a reactor. The Reaper might be enough to turn the tides. Even the SCV getting in. Even a single shot on the SCV could turn things. Whoa. Okay. He gets an SCV, but he loses the Adept. Second Adept is coming in. A little sloppy, to be honest, from Neeb. It is game number 1. Cyclone's on the way. Second Adept, it appears that Special not really prepared for it. It's kind of become an interesting mini game. Where players have to try to figure out, will he use the grenade? No, he can't get by that even with a grenade. How much do I want to commit to making sure my command center isn't harassed or delayed? And how much do I just kind of cut off the bleeding and wait till I get a Cyclone or enough Marines? Some players will just build a bunker right off the bat. Some players like Special there. Finish the command center. Okay, my work here is done. And just wait for the Cyclone or even a couple more Marines to come out. Neeb, where are your units? Neeb. They're on the other side of the map, though. Is Special ready for him? Did Neeb catch the Widow Mine? Doesn't matter. A single Cyclone is there. The Widow Mine could be dragged in. Oh, the Widow Mine will hit the SCVs. I'm not sure how intentional or how fortuitous that was, but as soon as he saw the Widow Mine hit, definitely going for it. Lifts up the Cyclone again. The Adepts can't hit it, but the other Phoenix can. The Reaper pales in comparison, even though it did get 2 kills on the other side of the map. So the Widow Mine worked. Actually, the Widow Mine did more damage to Special there, as opposed to Neeb. There is one badly bruised Phoenix. 5 SCVs so far. This is a big commitment. He doesn't quite have it. He has 1 more lift. But with the Marines there, they could easily gun down a Phoenix if he's not careful. Oh, the lock on. Tries to dodge it. You can't swerve out of the way, Neeb. It's not... The serpentine pattern will not work. I think he actually tried to use the high ground vision of the Batman pillar there. Like, oh, didn't... Oh, it worked this time. Okay. Well, that's what he was trying to do the first time. But the slight vision lock break is enough so that the lock-on, well, aptly named, breaks. It's going to be mech. He's already getting the Cyclone upgrade. It only does extra damage against armored when you get the Cyclone upgrade, but many of the units that Neeb will actually want to build in order to win the game are armored. Unless he decides to go Phoenix Charge Lot. I don't know if Neeb's going to make that commitment. More of an old school style, a bit more ham-fisted, but against someone who is going mech, it wouldn't be a bad call. Double lock-on, he micros it, doesn't quite find the Phoenix. He interrupts the lock-ons. Nice micro from Neeb. And recalls the Phoenixes before the Viking can find a target. Okay, really playing well with the hand he was dealt there. Another Phoenix kind of got a little ahead of itself. Special. Now, Neeb and Special are, especially when we get into, no puns, especially when we get into this kind of stage of a game, they always have so many workers. No matter how many workers die, they're always just pumping them out. And so that way they can pull them across the map, of course. Just a few to repair some Cyclones, but they're both kind of notorious for building a potentially dangerously greedy amount of workers. Alright, the Liberator comes in. He's gonna... There is no recall. He used the recall to save the Phoenixes before. It's still on cooldown for almost another minute. 3 Cyclones. There's just a handful of Stalkers. He can easily lock on. The damage is going to be devastating once the... Oh, the upgrade's not done. Okay, I take it all back. The Phoenixes, what are you doing, Neeb? Oh, he just flies straight through the main. I think he lost 1 Phoenix in the mix. 7 probes go down to the Liberator in the main. It looks like Neeb was either slow to respond or his own buildings made kind of an awkward situation. The Phoenixes come in a little bit too quick for the flank, and Special will not be cornered like that. He does have Mag Field Accelerator. The Force Fields keep a few of the Cyclones locked down. Neeb doing a good job of keeping control and vision on Special's army, but Special is not allowing himself to be bullied. Keeping those Cyclones on the high ground, constantly making Neeb fight for any engagement. He only has 4 clones and 10 Marines. The Marines, very important buffer, because the clones themselves are very precious. As you see there. Oh, the War Prism for the Ghetto Blink. Able to break the lock-ons. He's going to have to retreat. He pulls the boys off the 3rd. Special does have workers to spare. He's got to be careful not to lose all his units, though. Is charge done? Charge is done. +1 armor. He can close the distance. The Cyclones don't counter the charge lots very well. A few lock-ons are not going to change things here as Neeb just blasts his way through. An easy victory, pretty much, in game number 1. A little shaky on some of the Phoenix micro, but I'd say overall that was a convincing... Nothing really went right for Special. He got a little bit of harass, but I don't really know what went wrong exactly. And of course, I hate that phrasing, like, exactly where did it all go wrong? But I think Special was kind of misreading the situation. I was complimenting him for being out on the map, but I feel those compliments were a little misplaced because he ended up losing some Cyclones. And Cyclones are not easily replaced when your factories aren't finished building. So, will that discourage him from going mech in further games? I don't think so. We've seen... It's become a thing, alright? It's no longer a meme like, LOL, that guy's going, LOL, Gumiho, or maybe someone else, but mostly Gumiho is going mech against Protoss. No. It's a thing. 100%. It's a thing. Alright, the Venn diagram. The Venn diagram. Jimmy, bring up the thing. Alright. So here you have things. And then, of course, over here, mech. See, as you can see by the diagram in TVP, mech is now a thing. Not always, but sometimes. Well, we'll see if this game... We'll see it again. Neeb up 1-0. Oh, God. Well, and away we go. Just a single SCV sent out. It is not very customary to do any more than that. It looks like it's going to be a proxy Reaper, but the variety, the options, he has so many tech paths open to him. Does he go Ghost? Like proxy Ghost? Not really a thing. The fact that it's this far away means it's very unlikely to be Ghost. But does he put the factory out on the map? The starport? The fusion core? Okay, let me not get ahead of myself. Neeb's going to scout pretty early on. I believe that was off of... No, it was off a gate. So, not early enough to dramatically switch up his build. But it will be before he commits to a Nexus. He's going to have to decide. Let's go to the Neeb cam. What does Neeb decide to do? Get your camera off the probe. Okay. He decides to go for the Cybercore first. He's not going to get the Nexus. Right off the bat, he'll get the Nexus now. 2 gases committed to. The thing about the Nexus, like, you don't want to be starting it later. You want to start it when you can. There's no point in getting another gateway that'll do nothing in a timely manner. Because if you don't start the Nexus early, if he gets Cyclones or even Marines or something, there's a chance that you'll never get it. The fact it's finished or mostly done protects it. It's just so much HP to work through. Whereas if you're trying to build it later on when you feel safe, you're not nearly as much so. First Reaper coming in. Did Neeb even get a Zealot? Oh, greedy Neeb. Without a Zealot, he's just going to have to probe Micro, which he's going to lose some. There you go. I was hoping I wouldn't be proven wrong. That's just one so far. A little bit of mining time. Special. Slick moves there. Gets a second probe, but if he loses the Reaper, it definitely isn't worth it. Another probe coming in. Spotting the command. Neeb, look! Oh, I guess he just kind of sees it. I apologize for my camera work. I'm the greatest cameraman from inside of an earthquake you've ever seen. He recalls the probe before the Reaper can come back. So there was math done on whether recalling the probe is more worth it than just chrono boosting out another one. And I'm not going to get into the math, but which is going to be confusing because I don't remember actually what was deemed to be better. But here's my thought as we see the Hellion and 2 Reapers come in. It's not about whether or not you recall the probe. It's about doing it in his face so he knows it happened. It's a disrespectful mind game, big boy play. And that is worth everything. That's a technical term, by the way. So yeah, get your math out of here. When I see someone recall a probe out of my base and I'm a Terran, I'm both like, is that actually worth it? And also, you dick. Same time, about equal parts. Also, really? Special tactics. Even a hurt Hellion, too, so maybe the Adeptus wants to... Just to give it that little bit of extra. The indentation is super obvious for players of this caliber. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Neeb. Neeb. Okay. Oh no! No, my god! Neeb reacts too fast. Neeb's too quick. It almost worked. He tried to bait him. Oh, but the Oracle's on the run. Get back here. Get back here, boy. What are you doing out there? Killing that Hellion. All right. Joining up with its friends. With their little fancy laser bulb beams. A tag on the Cyclone. Wait, how much else does he see with the tag? Well, the Cyclone's enough. And the rocks, the tactical tag on the rocks will spot the tank. There you go. Neeb, even when he's... Good thing I did not finish that sentence. I definitely wasn't going to comment on how smart Neeb was even when he wasn't trying. That was not where I was going. Nicely hidden Widowmine, but he comes in again. Oracles are armored, which means they do take extra damage to the upgraded lock-ons, but this Liberator already has 4 kills in the back. Adepts do not shoot Liberators, especially when they're dead. Oh, God. Oh, no. Neeb, 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 Neeb. Oh, my God. Oof. Well. Liberation is at hand. That was messy, to say the least. You obviously don't want to lose a sentry, 2 stalkers, and 4 probes, and a bunch of mining time, and an adept to a liberator. I can say that with confidence. But, despite all of this, both players with a pretty healthy worker count. Neither has been slowed down dramatically from what their game plan seems to be. We have Neeb opting for charge and +1 armor, which might actually be a slight misread of the situation. Landed Vikings actually pretty damn good against probes, because Landed Vikings get extra damage to mechanical. Because that's how they do. Oh, looks like another... Did he lose another Oracle? Oh my God, these random Widowmines! He lost another Oracle in the mix here. He's lost 2 Oracles so far. I don't know what else he lost. There were 2 Widowmines and they had both fired. I think one of them was spotted and died to a probe. Or fired on a probe, rather. Nope. He still has the 1 Oracle, and that Oracle is so important. The scan. The army, he sees no charge yet. He knows it could be finishing soon, but Special has all the forces ready to be brought to bear. Putting everything... Oh my, that's 3 tanks. Stim, combat shield. He's got a Raven with plenty of energy. He doesn't even need to scan. Easily deal with the stasis. Neeb, some aggressive defense here. Armor and weapons finishing up for either side. Anti-armor missile! Cheeto dust for Juanito! He gets it over all the zealots, negating and then some. The armor upgrade. A nice feedback to negate the Raven. He's got a Templar Archives, and Archon is coming up. The tanks are at the back. Oh, the anti-armor missile is still hurting badly. You can take additional damage if your armor goes under 0. You can have negative armor. Fun, not so fun fact for Neeb. 2 tanks are taken out. Neeb's just trying to hold the line. How many gates? 8 gates, so he has a lot of production to back this up, whereas Special has to send everything across the map. Just a single tank, the Raven, not dead, but negated, and no longer can really use any spellcasting for quite a while. Special's still trying his best. The force field, pretty good, but not good enough to lock in the Marines and Marauders. Are there enough charge lots? He tries to take out the tank, successfully does, but the Marauders continue to stim forward. The supply gap widens. Now, Neeb does have good infrastructure and good tech. If he just holds on to this base, if he can push Special back, Special, he's not so bad himself. This is still pretty good for Special, this engage. But as time goes on, it's going to be harder and harder to continue to get damage done. There are Liberators on the way for Special, but his medevacs are nearly out of energy, which means, well, some of them are, not all of them. More Widowmines are coming up. Those charge lamps getting ground down. Neeb's struggling to get above 100 supply. Oh, a Scrambler, an Interference Matrix on the Archon. It can't do anything but watch. And suddenly a Liberator shows up to the party. But just as it does, more Stalkers at the front. The charge lots on the chase. The Immortals under the Liberation Zone. Another round of bio stims in. Neeb needs Warpins badly. There's nothing else happening. It's just this engagement. No Liberators, no Warp Prisms, no anything else on the other side of the map. There is not Blink coming up. Neeb is going for +2 armor. +1 armor is the choice for Special. More Widowmines will trigger, doing very little splash damage, but overall, the Zealots are required. The Stalkers will evaporate. If these Widowmines are allowed to recharge now, The medevacs are out of energy. Good targeting from Neeb. He takes out the Widow Mines. The force field's not quite on point. He needs to take out those Widow Mines on the low ground. The Liberator count continuing to grow. Special, a little bit of miss micro there. He sends it too far forward. The choke point on the low ground is asphyxiating for Neeb. 137 to 107 supply. Neeb doesn't have any sort of tech. He doesn't have Storm coming up. He doesn't have Blink. He doesn't have anything that makes this easier. It's just getting harder and harder as more Liberators and more Widow Mines and energy on the Raven and the Medevacs. What are the upgrades? He's just waiting for +2 armor. In fact, it looks like he may... Oh, the anti-armor missile as well! That's gonna trigger another stim. The Widow Mine's connecting with Immortals. Shield batteries on both sides. He's doing... Oh, the Widow Mine hits are big! He's targets down a couple at the front. Another Immortal's gonna go down. The barriers are there. But with anti-armor missile all over them, it becomes that much easier to take him out. Neeb's coming down the ramp. He's trying to hold. It's not enough. He's tearing through everything. Immortal down. There's one left. The probes are pulled. But it's a last stand that is too late. The Widow Mine's gonna connect on the Stalkers, and there's nothing left. Special ties it up 1-1. GG. Get out of here, Neeb. I really feel... Neeb, I think Neeb thought Special was going mech. Because he started with the charge, but the charge wasn't really needed that early. Blink actually early on would probably have been better, but I think he got lulled into the sense that Special was really relying on mech. And without having Blink early... Now, I know when we're doing Angry Coach in the Platinum League, I'm like, don't go Stalkers because they're bad. But guess what? Neeb, not bad. And having those tools to be able to delay a Terran player from doing exactly this is very important. He just wasn't able to get him in time. And as soon as they start stacking up and the stims start coming through, there's no Storm. You're not going to get enough Archons or anything. Special's not going to let up. And that's a problem. One to one. Game number 3. I would quote some math about whoever wins game 3 when it's 1-1 would have the momentum. They can try all these strategies and in StarCraft history, but I don't do math. Alright? So, I do have to say, I don't think Neeb is going to be incredibly unhappy with that. Like, a little bit of a misread, a mediocre engagement to start, and then someone like Special is not gonna give you much leeway. But it's not the end of the world. So, we'll see. Going in to game number 3. This will be on Automaton. Neeb, if there was a map where Neeb does a 2-gate, I wasn't able to watch these matches live, by the way, just FYI. I don't have any information. I'm just making my own best guess, trying to think about what I would do, besides just walk away and say, why am I in a match against Special, if I was Neeb. This isn't fair, Blizzard. Please fix WCS matchmaking. But it looks like Neeb isn't doing it. But if there were a map to go for the 2-gate, I think this would be it. This would be the time. Because as time goes on, well, and then a follow-up into Blink. Or even just the forward 1-gate play. This is a map where Blink Stalkers are annoying. There's so much space in the main, which early on is usually good for Protoss. But as time goes on, a little bit later, tanks and medevacs are a massive threat. And that is, well, pretty much you can't let them get to this area of the map. If they get to this area of the map, they're just going to be dropping you nonstop. And your main base is so far away from everything else. The sheer amount of ground you have to cover if your recall gets baited out or something like that. But Neeb is not one to just be like, well, game is hard, let me cheese him. He's not half. So he's just doing a 1-gate expand. Special. 1 Rax expand. Gentleman's game. So Special realized and embraces the fact that Terran buildings can fly. And blocking, I'm always amused in anywhere between Bronze League heroes and Grandmaster disasters when players will pylon block a Terran and then the Terran just builds on the high ground like, well, guess I can't expand there. No, you can just... It's not that hard. All right. The Reaper on the hunt, though. He's mad about that probe being so annoying. The probe is also angry, but less able to express its feelings. Some nice adept micro. He's trying to defend both sides simultaneously, whereas Special is trying to bait the Shade into a bad location. He does. He finds his way up. Will he force field? Will he do it? No, don't go! That was a confusing... I gotta stop throwing my headphones off. Because... that was a confusing exchange. Neeb attacked his own probe with the sentry, but then used the force field to block the adept. So, overall, not as great as it could have been, but he got... I mean, to block... Well, technically, yes, to block the adept, but mostly to block the Reaper. Actually, almost entirely to block the Reaper. A little bit of a slip there. Oh. Dun dun. It's not an Oracle this time. He's going Blink. I was right about that. You can't just let... Oh. How did I get baited? I have the observer cam, and I got baited. I'm like, what are you doing, Special, you noob? Neeb thought the same thing. Neeb has a better excuse than I do. Like, aha! Can't believe he got in there. Special's slipping. Nope. Neeb got fully baited. But the upside for Neeb is that he did get in, and he saw the Tech Lab Special started the cloak upgrade, I believe. Not that big a deal. You can just cancel it, get all your money back. And then he saw 2 racks as well. So Neeb has a good idea. He's not gonna believe. There's no way he's actually going for cloak. Neeb knows that was a bait. He knows that. I love this. What a play from Special. But what a counterplay from Neeb! Neeb, use the bait. Oh. He's waiting on Blink to outblink the Widowmine. He just blunked on him. He did give up the hallucination. Some pretty amusing mind games there. For sure, Special knows that was hallucinated, obviously. And now, I mean 100% as there's Blink. Why is the Raven here? Raven harass. This isn't 2018. She was more like 2017. I forget. What was the auto turret like ridiculously good? It's good now, but it used to like 2-shot workers. But have less lives. I forget when. The Raven has gone through more changes than like the Star Wars trilogies, okay? Or Star Wars movies, I guess, is more accurate. 4 probes go down! 5! And this one Marine claiming more blood. Special is just beating Neeb back at every turn. How many Stalkers? He lost 2 Stalkers, 6 probes. Special has lost a handful of Marines, but Marines not at a particular premium here. Neeb does have a 3rd, though. You can look at a lot of small battles and be like, well, that guy's winning the war. No, Neeb, while he did lose a few units here and there, he does have a much quicker third base. He does have good map vision, and he does have, I wouldn't say map control. The stim is used, the blank stalker's baited out, he gets them all out. Where are the medevacs? They're just now popping out. Neeb, wake up. Well, that's not good. And also, there's an auto turret. So the Raven somehow being the most annoying unit, and two's out. Neeb! 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 What are you doing? He scans, he sees the army. The recall was a little, he recalled to the third, which is the wrong one, and in come the drops. Neeb has to know, he can feel it. The map is dark and full of Terrans. Oh, God. Neeb. Oh, my. Okay. This is... Okay. At first, I was like, look, Neeb has a third. He got the medevac, but... And then And now I'm like, Neeb. Losing 20 workers to 0 killed so far. The Blink Stalker's not paying off at... Special's so good at keeping the pressure on if he finds any angles. Even a Raven. Where are you going? Oh, well. That's not the best use of a Raven. You can tell this is a high-pressure game. Both sides making some mistakes. Special making less so far. Oh my. Stalker's dying left and right. Well, he still has 12 of them. He's only lost 5. It feels like a lot more than 5, to be honest. Now, the problem is, as I was mentioning at the start of the game, Special's in the danger zone. It's so easy for him to just, well, let's let him demonstrate. This. Exactly this. He's just gonna drop on top. He's gonna use the mineral line against Neeb. The Widow Mine's gonna make things difficult. There aren't that many zealots. He unburrows the Widow Mine. There's just not enough units. He's waiting for the splash. It actually hits the Terran units. There may be just barely enough stalkers. He chases. Gets one medevac. What is this doing here? 21 probes, though. Neeb has a War Prism on the other side. The reinforcements... Wait, where are... Okay, he doesn't have that many Marines and Marauders. Neeb is on the chase, though. If he can intercept 2 full medevacs, this is not enough. No amount of damage from this Warp Prism is going to be enough. But if the Blink Stalkers can intercept the medevacs, they can't. It's not happening. Neeb's going to try to break. Special's up 50 supply. You're not stopping that. You're not getting in here. Neeb, go home. Neeb has 33 probes. He has no home to go back to. That's a lot of charge slots. He's just got to go. Widow Mines are good, but if you don't have enough units to back them up, they start to work both ways. He's going to target fire down through more mines. The Zealots have been mostly thinned out, but he's going to pick up a few extra Marauders. Neeb has to keep the pressure on. He's got 2-2 on the way. The boys are pulled. There's no splash damage. Each volley not hitting Marines and Marauders is going to make it that much more difficult. The boys just buffering. A few more Zealots coming in. He sent them back. He's like, wait a second, I'm drafting you again. 2-2 is seconds away for Neeb. He needs the Prism. He needs the Prism. Don't do it! No! Down goes the Prism! And with it, the game. Special takes it home. If 2-2 had been a little quicker, if that Prism had stayed alive, I don't know. I don't know. But the boys were pulled. That was a sloppy game. From both sides, but more Neeb's side. Special seems to be getting the better of the mind games. And the less mind games. you can see it reflected. Like, Neeb has yet to have been allowed to play the game that we know he wants to play. The type of game where we got 3 bases, a gentleman's agreement to not beat each other up until, like, the 6-minute mark. But Special's not giving him too much breathing room. Nor should he, obviously. We don't get participation awards. I mean, kind of, but you don't get the trophy for losing. Okay. Pretty sure. I don't know if they give him, like, a medal or something, but then definitely a smaller trophy, if there is a trophy for 2nd place, or 3rd, or 4th. All right, Neeb. Interesting. Whoa! Okay, let me explain. The architecture of Neeb. So, usually players will build a pylon, or they'll build like a pylon and a gate, and wall this up, well, not there, but like pylon and a gate. But Neeb, and then some players started doing like pylon, gate, cyber to bait the Reaper into coming up, but Neeb has expanded on this. Now he's got all this area for the Reaper to play in and think it's safe, but no. Watch him not even build the cyber core there. I don't know. I don't know if there was a break between these games or anything. That felt like a game you'd need a break after. And at the very least, if you're watching a professional esports broadcast, a commercial. Because money is important to pay the people who do the great camera work. Thank you, Jimmy. Like and subscribe. This is making me dizzy. That probe caught between a rock and a hard place. Did he do the full wall? Oh my god, he did. And it's to trap the Reaper. Oh. So, the biggest brain strats. The probe lives. But the Reaper coming in. He's gonna see the wall-in look. The wall-in nook. That's the best word I could come up with. Looks like a wall-ish. The Reaper easily outmaneuvers here. Looks like the Adept picks up one SCV kill on the other side, but does not delay the command center. Neeb throwing mad shade. Oh no! The probe was so close. Just 2 steps to retirement. He could have gone home to his family of other probes and mined minerals until a Whittle mine drop came in or something. But no. The Reaper came for him. It was his time. Press F to pay respects. Well, here comes Special! Oh no. He sees the citizen's arrest. Revenge for Probius. Neeb has a prism. Oh, Cyclone, the dodge, the jukes. But he gives away the prism. High ground vision gonna be at a premium here. Warp gate is not done yet, and it's a little bit off as well. He's gonna try to chase it down. Juke it. There it is. Neeb going to work, but that's a lot of Marines. Gotta be careful. He doesn't micro the lock on to the prism. Robobay is on the way. Are we going to see Disruptor drops, or is this just straight into Colossus? I feel like it's the second one, unfortunately. Neeb, no, whoa, Neeb, you madman. Neeb. I barely understand what I'm seeing, but somehow all the units lived. Neeb has only lost 2 probes this game. Yeah, it's a Colossus. There's a Raven on the way, but it's not particularly quick from Special. Did he build any other starport units? No, he has two barracks. There's a tank involved. Neeb's taking a third. Okay, so this has been kind of the Protoss version of when Terran players will do like a small tank push early. He's got a prism. He's got some mobility. These units have to be respected, but there's no way this is doing game-ending damage. It denies if he's trying to take a quick third or something, does a little, but this Marine trying to figure this out exactly. Because if Neeb doesn't actually commit, and he doesn't like go into the main, he starts warping in all the units, then, well, guess what? Special. You don't get to the semifinals of WCS and then maybe beyond without being a smart cookie. He spots the third. He actually, that one hero Marine, not the German one, that one, the Mexican one, spotted the Colossus as well. That's very important information for Special. Knowing that, no, I don't send my Raven out. I build up energy. I can negate the Colossi. I can maybe put together a tank push. He's looking for observers here. But yeah, this game we shouldn't see Special send his Raven across the map. Because that energy, if he can interference matrix the Colossi for any amount of time, that puts a lot more punch into one of these pushes. It looks like Special is not getting a third. He's got 2 medevacs on the way. Combat shields, stim, +1. The whole stew is coming together. We should see him moving out right around when the medevacs finish up. Starting a third command center, but that's not going to be a huge factor. Did Neeb see the third CC? He did. I'm pretty sure the Warp Prism was spotted as well. The placement, this observer is placed in such an awkward spot that Special didn't actually realize it was there. He was hunting for it with the Raven. But Neeb's obs was just far enough off the beaten path. So there's enough energy, 138. 150 would be enough for 3 Scrambler missiles. I mean, Interference Matrix, I don't know why I still say Scrambler, but I think it's cooler, so whatever. I know why I still say it. Oh, the Cyclone? Wow, that has a lot of range. Very sneaky. The scan spots the army. He can disable those Colossi for a time. The third command center. Disabled as well. Neeb. One Colossus gets found, but who's finding who? That's a lot of charge. That's 1, 2, 3 full disables, but the charge lots come sprinting in. Is there enough underneath? He's got to be careful. They want to walk forward, but all they can do is headbutt things unsuccessfully. Neeb crushes with a huge swell of charge lots. He hasn't gone for blank stalkers this game. He's gone for the brute force. He's put as many on the ground as he can. And this time, even though the finesse-oriented tank push would have been good against someone who's going like Stalker Colossus, Neeb's done with finesse. He just crushes everything in the center of the map. He almost canceled the CC. In fact, the CC just started. So, I believe he canceled the first one. That has to be a second one. It was more done than that. Well, guess what? It's never going to finish. Yeah. Neeb cancels it like Firefly. Very sad for the Terrans. Never getting off the ground. Fourth base is on the way for Neeb. He has a supply lead over Special, which is pretty rare so far in this series. Three Colossi. High stepping. There's no kicker here, though. He's just got a bunch of bio units. And he doesn't even have particularly great upgrades. Special does not have the tools with which to kill Colossi. He's starting to build... He just got a Ghost Academy, which is an interesting choice, but he has Vikings as well. Are we pulling the boys? Oh, as if on cue. Wait, like, just 8 of the boys? This is a tactical boys pull. It's not just for repair, but it's also not for repair. So interesting situation here. But he's out. He's on the other side of the trees. The Vikings show up. He doesn't realize the techs are there. There's no vision. Archon's coming in. One of the Colossi targeted down. Some Templar underneath. He doesn't have Storm. He's a long way off. The upgrades on the charge lots are just so good. He has to spread out around the side. The target fire from the tank. Another Colossus knocked over. Neeb's army is thinning out, but so is Special's. That last Colossus holding the line. The charge lots coming in from the south. A single Archon and Immortal doing their absolute best. And their best is good enough. As Neeb ties it up 2-2, the American Protoss coming through. There wasn't enough. Special not really reacting directly to what Neeb was doing. And when he finally did, it was too late. I don't think he realized how invested that Neeb was in charge lots. I think that was the big call, because Neeb is a finesse-oriented player usually. He likes his Blink Stalkers, even in the games before. But this time, he backed up the Colossi with just mass charge lot. Which means even though he could negate the Colossi, he couldn't negate the charge lots. He had to choose between the two, and both were the wrong answer. So, the decider. Game 5. Winner moves on to face Cyril in the WCS Finals. Loser? Self-explanatory. And welcome back to the WCS Spring 2019 semifinals. We're taking a look at the 2 best North American players just in game number 5, 2-2, to introduce them one more time before this SCV gets out on the map too far. Oh my god, 2 SCVs. In the bottom right, it's Special. The best Terran in North America. In GSL, in my opinion, from Mexico. And in the top left, the American Protoss. It is Neeb. Can he handle the proxy racks? There are 2 proxy racks on the way. Oh, and Neeb's like this. It's so. There's not much subtlety to this. Very simply, Neeb's gonna know. It's gonna get into the, the probe gets in, the gas just started, there are no barracks in his base. Is Neeb gonna scout it immediately? Not quite, but... Wait, maybe quite. I don't know exactly what he's looking for there, but he knows. Neeb knows. There's no gas, there's only one thing you're doing. The orbital is starting. You require a barracks to build an orbital. It's basic math. But Neeb, oh god, the boys. The probe, oh no! Oh, here we go! He's on the way across the map. The boys are pulled. He's doing his absolute best. Neeb's gonna have to work hard. The probes must be pulled. The probes must be pulled. Everything comes down to this. This is the oldest trick in the book, but there's a reason that book was written. Oh no! The Zealot gets trapped in a prison of its own design by the pylon. Neeb is not reacting well at all. Oh, his own pylon and probes keep blocking his Zealots. He doesn't stop the bunker. And moving on to the WCS Spring 2019 Finals. Juanito, almost before I even realized what was happening, and it seems also Neeb realized what was happening. Special with the Proxy Rags Bunker Rush. What a way to go. What a way. So Neeb versus Cyril will have to wait another day. Because Special moves on to face Cyril. Game 5. That is some Maru level. I don't... Alright. Jimmy says, hurry up and run an ad before everybody turns off the video or the stream. Okay, I'll be right back. Make sure to pause ad block if you're amazing and want to save esports. I'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Winter, and I'm here to talk to you about all the exciting things you can do to support me and my content. Now, while I may make these videos live on stream, that doesn't mean you can't like and subscribe on YouTube. Or, as many illustrious people point out in the YouTube comments, Winter, Loco already casted this. Why would you upload this video if Loco casted it? But unironically, okay, that's a thing that happens. So shout out to Loco for his amazing cast of this series. I'm sure will probably be before mine, but maybe you like mine as well. Okay, maybe you like it. Maybe you like it. Okay, so also, if you didn't know, well, by the time you see this, even if it's live, the time is pretty much run out for Swan with Twitch Prime. Even if you don't watch Twitch, you can get Twitch Prime if you have Amazon Prime. But coming up is Vorazun, a very new announcer. You can get a free co-op commander, and actually there's a new Protoss console coming out. Actually, I think it's for all 3 races. There's a new console, which is the UI. If you don't actually play Starcraft, you might not know, even if you do want all that free stuff. But it's the UI thing on the bottom of the screen. So, thank you. And make sure to check. Oh yeah, you can subscribe as well. Whatever. Thank you. Like, check out the other WCS videos. But make sure to look for the channel name, because otherwise people are gonna... Jimmy, please. Jimmy. Okay.